What's up, watch friends? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony, and you're a viewer. It's Friday, so we're here to talk about some. Well, I have a few questions, not much, but let's have a beer and roll the intro, and we'll get started. All right. So, first question for the Magic Watch Ball. Magic Watch Ball is about 79% accurate. 81? Okay. 81% accurate now. Was 78%, I think. Now it's 81. So, all right. First question comes from Schumann Drake. First off, very cool vid. Shout out to the guys and gals in blue. That's some crazy weaponry. That had to be an incredible experience, Tony. Question for the watch ball, and that was awesome. Going down to SWAT LAPD last week was just blown away, man. So I got to thank my buddy Ben Santiro and everyone at SWAT who was really cool. It was awesome. I geeked out on SWAT videos when I got home. I was fucking watching all kinds of videos on LAPD, but that's just me. Question for SWAT. Question for the watch ball. What are SWAT team members' favorite tactical watches? There are some badass tactical matte black timepieces. Thank you. And the watch ball says G-Shock, Rolex, and Panerai. There you have it. Straight from the source. How did you know that? Because Ben told me. And that's from SWAT. So yeah, that's what it is. G-Shock, Rolex, and Panerai. Now, I know, I was there, so I saw a couple of guys wearing some, like G-Shock, and I know they have Rolex. I didn't see any Panerai, but I didn't meet a whole ton of people, and I know there's a ton of tactical watches out there, and everybody who does videos on tactical watches, Luminox, Tracer, some of those brands, so Navy SEALs wear Luminox, man. I love Luminox, except a few of them that I've had just randomly stopped working, which made me lose faith in Luminox. I don't like them anymore. Tracer, I don't know so much about. My buddy has one. He loves it, quartz watch. But there's all these tactical watches that everyone that does it, these big EDC guys, when you're out in the field camping and you got to kill a grizzly bear, this watch is capable of being eaten, devoured, spit out, shit out, and whatever, and it fucking works, you know what I mean? Whatever, man. To each their own. Yeah, there were a lot of them are cool, but honestly, if I was in that line of work or whatever, I'd probably wear a Casio as well, or my Rolex. If I was into all that EDC stuff and I was out in the field and I was camping or whatever it was, I would most likely wear a Hamilton. So field watch. But anyway, so that's answered your question. Thank you for it, Schumann. And Paul Thompson asks, first says, great video, Tony. He's commenting on my last video, my visit to SWAT. If you haven't seen it, just go ahead and watch it. It's pretty cool because there's some actually really good watch ball questions on there too. It was great to see my U.S. counterparts at work, and it was great for them to show you around. There were some really great watch ball questions too. Thanks, man. Paul Thompson is a police officer in the United Kingdom. So I appreciate your service and what you do, man. And thank you. Let's see, what is your question? I have a question for the watch ball. As I have a few watches in my collection, how often would I need to wind them? Or is it okay to leave them for long periods unwound? It's good to wind them periodically, fairly regularly and often, and if you do that, there'll be more longevity in the watch. If you just let it sit, seals dry up, the oils dry up, so it's not recommended to let them sit for long periods of time. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, also it depends on the watch, man. You got some old vintage pieces and whatever, and you don't wind them and they sit, that shit's going to dry up, and when you do wind, it'll still work. It'll probably just keep lousy time. It'll slow down or whatever. It's not a good idea to let them sit. Newer watches, you're not going to have so much of a harder time with. So it's always good to wind your watch. And again, you didn't state if they were mechanical or automatic mechanical, if they're, you know what I mean? So, but, I would make it a good practice to, wind them periodically just to keep everything flowing. It's like a car. You get a car and it doesn't matter. Actually, it doesn't matter if it's a brand new car or not. If you buy a brand new car and you let it sit and sit and sit, and you're like, well, it's a brand new car. What's going on with it? Why do I have an oil leak? And all that seals dry up. Shit dries up. That's it. So yeah, I would take care of them. Don't put them on a watch winder if they're automatic, but periodically wind them just to keep them running. You know what I mean? And it's good to keep them. It's good to wind kind of like the same time. It sounds like when you have to take medication at the same time every day. I don't know if any of you younger people have to do that, but it's just the best to keep it sort of at a regular time. It's consistent in the watch. I don't know. They have whatever kind of memory or whatever, but I'll talk too much into that. I'll dig myself a hole into not knowing what I'm talking about. But yeah. So I appreciate your question, Paul. And awesome. I have other law enforcement agencies watching my channel. This one comes from Eric Cooper. It was a long one, and you apologized for it being so long, but the question is very short and basic. So, and you said something about moving to England, and I think you live in the States. I'm pretty sure of it. But you didn't say why. You said, I don't want to bore you with that. Man, what's the scoop with that, dude? Anyway, let's see. The question is, the comeback of smaller sized, more classic sized watches, are they making a comeback or not? For us watch nerds, I actually have a decent sized wrist, so that's not a problem for me. But for some reason, when I wear a 36 millimeter Datejust on my wrist, after a couple of hours, I feel it just makes so much sense. Does that make sense to you? Makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you? Watch ball. Is this the comeback of smaller sized, more classic watches making a comeback or not? Yes and no. Wear what you like. It doesn't matter. Pretty simple. And then I'll put my 2 cents worth into it. Look, man, I'm wearing a 36 millimeter watch. People will say this is a lady's watch. That's my reply to that. It doesn't matter if you have a 9-inch wrist and you want to wear a 34 millimeter OP Rolex, then just do it. If you've got a 5-inch wrist and you want to wear a dinner plate on your wrist, hey, do it, man. Do whatever makes you feel good and whatever you love. Don't follow trends, man. That's just or what's coming back or what's not. Just wear what you love because you love it, regardless of what the trends are, because trends change and they change. 1 minute, next thing you know, you get a bunch of bigger watches. All of a sudden smaller watches come in. Oh shit, I got to sell all my bigger watches. And then if the smaller watches go out, now I'm going to sell all these small watches and whatever, man. Just wear what you love, dude. It doesn't matter what the trend is. If you love a big watch, then wear it. And if you love a small watch, then wear it. I have both. This is a 36 millimeter. I'm actually going to do a video on this, which I was planning on doing anyway. So it's kind of a pretty good question. But I also have a 50 millimeter U-boat. I don't wear it anymore, but it's just simply because U-boats are fucking shitty watches. And I don't really like it that much, but it does have a little bit of a special meaning to me. So that's why I keep it. Actually, I wouldn't sell it anyway, even if it didn't have a special meaning, because I wouldn't want to put that on somebody else to say, here's a piece of shit U-boat. I actually had 2 U-boats. One of them I did sell. So having said that, again, wear what you like. It doesn't matter. If you've got a 36 millimeter date, just rock it. If it feels good for you, just keep wearing it. You know what I mean? I don't like the fact that, someone will say this is a lady's watch or this isn't a lady's watch, or they advertise it that way. Some dealers advertise the 36 millimeter Datejust as a lady's watch. It's not a lady's watch. It's a unisex watch. Essentially, it was just a men's watch, So don't fall into that category of that. This was advertised as a lady's watch on some people's sites too. I don't give a fuck, man. I wear it. I like it. And I'll explain why in my video when I do the review on it. Paco, hey, I don't know if you heard that. So anyway, having said that, I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And it's Friday, and enjoy it. Please like and subscribe if you like my content. If not, don't. But Appreciate it. Helps stay me motivated. It keeps me motivated to make more videos by the likes and subscribes. As far as the money goes that you make from this shit, I never got into it for that reason, and I don't care about it. You know what I mean? So it's not about that for me. It's about people watching and enjoying. So you guys have a great weekend. Take care, and we'll talk to you on the next one.